Good afternoon. I'm Chris Mikkelsen. I'm the Executive Director of the Humboldt Bay Harbor District. I've borrowed a large portion of this presentation from my coworker, Rob Homeland. I'd like to acknowledge our commissioners that are here, Commissioner Coleman and Commissioner Newman. And if I'm missing anybody else, my apologies. But we'll try the internet. There we go. So this is an offshore wind farm. And you'll see there's a little power plant out there right about where that little red dot is. We've got a little substation out there. This is the project that we're proposing. This is the Humboldt Heavy Lift Marine Terminal, and many of you have seen this. And this will be located in Humboldt Bay. So let's talk just a little bit about our project site. We know we have a Humboldt Bay call area and a Morro Bay call area. Taking a look at where we're at, we have Humboldt Bay, the Humboldt Bay offshore lease area, and we're about 20 miles offshore. That little blue area that you see there, that's our jurisdictional boundary. The yellow is the state lands, and then we get out in the federal waters. So we're focused today, for my purposes here today, on our port. This is what it looked like many years ago. It was a soup to nuts lumber facility that produced everything from lumber all the way down to sawdust and chips, which became pulp. And this is the wharf that we're focused on right now. It was used for moving goods out of the area. This is what it looks like today. And this is one of the past reiterations of it. So we know that we have an opportunity here to bring some commerce back. These are the kind of a historical view of the terminals within Humboldt Bay and how they once appeared and some of the industry that was there. And again, what we're looking to bring forward here is a heavy lift marine terminal to the area. So why offshore wind? Well, the Biden-Harris administration announced that extreme actions for the U.S. to expand into offshore wind energy, 30 gigawatts of offshore wind by 2030, and 1 gigawatt could power up to 1 gigawatt could power 200,000 to 500,000 homes. Wow. So 30 gigawatts could power approximately 15 million homes. 30 gigawatts is the equivalent of about 60 average-sized coal-fired power plants. California wants to achieve clean energy. And in fact, if we look at the state and federal goals, by 2030, we have 5 gigawatts in the state of California, 30 gigawatts in the U.S., moving forward to 2045 and 2050, 5 times that amount, 25 gigawatts in California, and about 110 plus gigawatts in the federal action. Apparently Google Slides and mine don't like one another. So how many turbines will be needed to reach California's goal? Well, let's take a look at the technology. Back in 1990, we had about a 250-foot windmill. Right now, the max ever thought of to be designed is this little guy here at about 1,500 feet, but it spins so much that it would destroy itself. So on average, 12 megawatts is what's out there, but we're proposing for California somewhere between 15 and 25 megawatt turbines. So that's our planned size turbine. These have to come here if we're going to do vertical integration. They're going to come from somewhere. Rail is one option. Roadways are an option. Lesson learned, that doesn't work. They're just far too big. So the port. It's most likely these goods will come in until we can manufacture them here by water. They'll be offloaded into a staging integration site or a laydown yard. So this is a floater. These are 425 feet by 425 feet by 425 feet. And if you're watching the San Francisco Giants game, that's what it looks like with a windmill in there. So that's a big dog. So how many of these need to be manufactured? Well, we've got to manufacture blades. We have to manufacture nacelles, or the motors for these things. We have towers and tower sections. We've got the floaters. Let's see, we've got to anchor those, so we're going to have mooring lines, anchors, and then, of course, we want to get that power back on shore, so we'll have miles and miles of transmission cables. So what's the quantity and speed of production necessary? Well, if the state's goal is 25 megawatts by 2045, and if each turbine is 15 megawatts, that's right, 1,667 turbines will need to be produced. And if production starts in 2030, then 112 turbines would need to be produced per year, or an average 2.2 turbines per week, every week for 15 straight years. So note that, just California. Okay? So there we have it. We have a floater. We've got a blade. We've got our nacelle. We're towing one of these guys out to shore. We take it out to our offshore lease area. This is a quick little glance of what it looks like out in the water. Give you an idea of the turbines, the mooring lines, the station, and then bringing it on shore. So what needs to be done in the next 7 years? Well, we got to look at the ports and what they can do. So we have ports that can do component manufacturing, staging integration, or what we call vertical assembly, or operations and maintenance. And port type 1 manufactures components. That's a blade right there. Nacelles. This is kind of pulling it all together. So these components can be shipped somewhere into some sort of a subport for support. And then we got port type 2, which is staging and integration. And you can see the vertical assembly occurring, blades going on the nacelle, and finally a piece being towed out to the waters. So port type 2, staging and integration, or there's port type 3, operations and maintenance. Going to buzz through these really quick in the spirit of time because they said they were going to throw blueberries at me. That's an ROV that can go down in the water and do some inspections. So which ports can make this happen? Well, here's California. We know we have the Port of San Diego, the Port of LA Long Beach, the Port of Wainimi, Port of Morro Bay. We have the Bay ports in San Francisco Bay Area. We've got the Port of Humboldt Bay. There is the harbor in Crescent City, and we have some Oregon ports. So component manufacturing, there's a few of them that can do component manufacturing. There's a few that can do staging integration, or there's a few that can do operations and maintenance, but there's 2 ports that can truly do staging integration. And so if we look at our state again, here's Humboldt, and down here we've got LA Long Beach, and we're going to do a little couple of circles for you and show you that the tow distance down to Morro Bay is not much farther than it is from LA Long Beach. So it's very likely that the Port of Humboldt Bay can support this. We're the only 2 ports that can do staging integration, and again, here's a fully assembled guy. As Adam pointed out, there's that bridge again, right? Can't tow it through there, not going to happen. So we're uniquely able to do something that others cannot. So here's our Humboldt Bay and our proposed project. Again, the 2 lease areas. We have an offshore wind installation in the Humboldt lease area. We have an offshore wind installation in the Morro Bay lease area. Staging integration, we can ship down to Morro Bay. We can ship out to Humboldt Bay when that occurs, and we can even move forward. Again, uniquely positioned to support this world. So taking a look at our bay again, this is the project that we are proposing. This is a little bit of a view that you saw moments ago about our ability and our channels here in Humboldt Bay. Come in and look at the amount of industrial land available. This is another view from what Adam showed just a moment ago, and then our proposed site. So we're fairly excited about this project, as you all know, but we understand that there's a lot of work left to do and a lot of engagement that will continue to have to occur. We could do manufacturing on our site. We have that opportunity. We looked at, could we just assemble floaters here, and then we would bring them around, get them out to the wharf. We could store them in the water. That's what it looks like completed. And see, we got a couple extra slides here. We could store them temporarily in the water till they're ready for vertical integration, in which case we would tow them over to the wharf, vertically integrate them, and get them headed out that channel. So that is the port of Humboldt Bay and the project that we're proposing. We have a project labor agreement that's been recently done for construction. We have a great deal of travel engagement that has occurred with much more to come. We have a community engagement strategy. Many of you are contacting us and asking us, when the kickoff is. We're very much in the technical spots right now. We have a community benefit program that's funded by one of the awards that we received via a grant. We have Sequoia NEPA permits and 30% design headed forward. And I heard mentioned earlier that there's a little bit of celebration about our green terminal and our green port strategy. Grants as stepping stones. We started this project with $65,000 from a Headwater grant. We received $577,000 from the State Lands Commission and money after COVID. We got $10,450,000 from the CEC to really go out and jumpstart a project. We received a MARAD Port Infrastructure Development Grant for $8.7 million. And a portion of that California Energy Commission money will be to match that. And then you've probably heard that we got $426 million recently awarded to us to build this port. So, come a long ways. Obviously, there's a lot of future additional investment that has to occur. And a little bit about our project schedule. So, we began the Sequoia NEPA process about 2 years ago. We hope to complete that in quarter of 2025. We have our mitigation scheduled for late 2025, and phase one project could begin as early as 2026. Now, these are very aggressive timelines. We understand that. Keep in mind, the state of California has not wavered from their goal of 2030 for offshore deployment. We're going to anchor ourselves to that goal because that's the assignment we've been given. If the project has adjustments that are there, of course, we will adjust our calendar and share it with everyone. But it still remains, by the state goals, phase one should be ready for operations in 2029. We have a YouTube video on our website. Just go to YouTube at HumboldtBayHarborDistrict.org. My friend and coworker Rob Homeland has done a pretty exceptional job on that, so take a look at it. And thank you. No blueberries, I finished early.